Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be revisiting vibe coding with PixelLab. We already have an MCP video in our channel, but it's pretty old and there's been a lot of improvements that now let you create better quality stuff. So let's begin. First thing I want to get out of the way is the game concept and what we're doing. Here's a summary of the game idea. I want it to be a museum-themed game, something simple but nice. For the game engine, or well, framework, I'll be using Phaser 4, but you can use any game engine of your preference. For coding, I'll be using OpenAI's Codex, but you can use any coding agent like Claude, Gemini, Grok, Kimi, etc. And when it comes to PixelLab, we're using the MCP and the API, not just the MCP. Why? Because the API provides everything that the MCP doesn't, all the endpoints that might be missing in the MCP, etc. Okay, so let's head to the PixelLab website. Here you can see we have a couple tabs we can go to. We're going to be using the MCP and the API ones. If you click the API tab, you'll see your API info, and below you will see documentation for it. If you click AI Assistant Docs, a link will be copied to your clipboard so you can send it to your AI agent. Then, if we move to the MCP tab, we can see the installation steps of the MCP for any one of the CLIs, plus another docs link to provide to the agent. Now that we have all that, I'll move to Codex, but again, you can use Claude, Gemini, Cursor, whatever you like. And I'm going to tell Codex to set up the MCP and API for me. And bam, it set it up. Now ready to build whatever I want with any of the PixelLab tools. Now I can actually start building a game or assets or whatever. I told Codex that I want to make an isometric game and sent it the small summary of the game I had. I also told it to make a character, a museum keeper with an interesting outfit, 48 by 48 size, and make tile sets for the game using the buildings tiles for the museum, and make isometric objects to place on the map. And I let it go off. Keep in mind, it does help knowing a bit about the tools so you can direct it more on what you want it to use and do. Like here I asked it to make isometric stuff and to make a tile set using the buildings tiles type. If you don't know about the buildings tiles type, you probably would have missed it. But as you can see, with just that one prompt, it already started off well. It made the character, the map, and even added some gameplay. I asked Codex to fix some stuff like the camera positioning and use the walls fully instead of using pillars for the wall, since they connect better. I also told it to animate the character, give him idle animations and a new state for mid-walk, and animate that mid-walk state when it's available. Idle should be using Custom Animation v3, and told it more or less how I want it to prompt the things for me. And look at that, literally progress without touching one sprite. Pretty wild. Again, I asked it to fix some stuff like collisions, add a day-night system, and told it to make some UI with the UI template tool and add more items. And it did it. Sometimes you might have to go back and forth with it, maybe for placement issues, etc. But that's a typical workflow with AI agents since we're not manually moving stuff like we would in a game engine. Then I told it to edit each of the objects from the museum using Edit Image New and make it so each one is covered by a white blanket so we can start unlocking them. And guess what? It did it! Now I can go around and unlock each object in the museum, all done with just simple prompts. Isn't that crazy? Next up, I told it to add a new character that accompanies the player in the same style, and animate it the same, idle and mid-walk state with custom V3 animations. I also told it to give each character a portrait using the Character to Portrait tool. And another thing I did was tell it to make the museum larger and have a different layout. And as you can see, it did a pretty decent job. But I did ask it for a good amount of edits, so it clearly made some mistakes, mostly with the map. So I told it to fix it, even told it to make the walls cover the whole map, and add a shader to make the characters visible through the walls, which I thought was pretty neat. And check the portraits out too, pretty nice. Cool, so I'll keep the workflow going just so you can see it in action, but it's pretty casual. Just make sure you ask specific things instead of just telling it, make a game and use PixelLab. Now I'm going to tell it to add a new room. The player should walk through the door, fade out and fade in to a new room with new objects. All new objects with their covered edited versions as well. I mentioned it should be isometric, just in case it forgets or wants to get creative. And check it out, it added the transition between the maps, made the new objects with their covered variants, and here, since I didn't really direct it with a model to use, it chose to use the Pro models, so you can see kind of the style difference between the objects in the first map and the second. That's something to keep in mind. Make sure to tell it which tool to use instead of relying on the AI agent to choose for you. So, these are the exact tools I recommend when building a game with MCP and the API. For characters, use the Create Character tool and the Character States one. For animations, use Animate with Text v3 and Interpolation v3. For maps and tile sets, use Create Top-Down Tile Set, Create Side-Scroller Tile Set, Create Tiles Pro for isometric, hexagonal, oblique, or square top-down tile sets, and Create Building Kit for the type of tile set I showed here in the video. For objects, use Create One Direction or 8-Direction Object, Animate Object, and Object States. For UI, I'd recommend using the UI Template Pro tool. Use Create Font tool for fonts, obviously. For dialogue portraits, create Portrait Character and create Vocal Animation. For raw image generation, use Create Image Pixin or Create Image Pro. And last but not least, to edit images, use Edit Image Pro. And that's that for today. Let me know what kind of games you'll be making with these tools down in the comments. Make sure to like the video to help us reach more people. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all our new videos. Catch you in the next one.